No, it was outstanding. I mean, usually preseason, like, come on, shoot me. I mean, it's like a slow death. But no, that was very entertaining. What? In the first quarter? Boy, we can have a little bit of that bottle to go against the Falcons. Boy, that would be good. You jump on them quick. You discourage them. No, it was outstanding. But, that shouldn't surprise us. What have you done for me lately? And it's more than lately. It's over a decade. No Chargers fan could talk trash to a Saints fan. I don't think they would anyway, because there's no Chargers fans. I mean, they're still in San Diego. They're not even in L.A. But we've now, when we've gone out on a football field, not practice session, but a football field, we've won 9 in a row against the Chargers. Now, preseason, regular season, Christian, we're now preseason. We lead the Chargers 6 games to 4. We've only played them 10 times in preseason. But really, when you look at it, it's close to regular season, 7-6. But like preseason, we won the last 4 matchups. So I'm going with it because it sounds better. We've beaten the Chargers 9 games in a row. That's pretty dominant when you talk about the parity and the NFL. It couldn't have, like I said, gotten off to a better start. That's what you want. I mean, I was looking at the beginning, good pass protection for Jameis Winston. The one time he stepped up and he hit Landry plus 15, he even got hit, stepped up in the pocket. It was almost kind of a high-low. I mean, that was an outstanding drive. 9 plays, 75 yards, 5 minutes, 41 seconds. We're up 7-0. That's you setting the tone. Jameis is like 4 for 4. The only negative, and you don't want to dig yourself a hole because that'll catch up, we had 2 penalties. We still
on that drive.
On that drive.
Just goes to show you how good that offense performed.
No, Christian, a lot of times you're starting out 1st and 15, you're going to end up punting. We had a 2nd and 14. That's never good, but Jameis was able to overcome that. I thought Alvin Kamara, like we've said in practice, he looked outstanding. I don't know, Alvin Kamara looks faster than me. He looks like he's ready to roll. So that suspension, we need that to happen next year. We need him for every game this year. And I thought Mark Ingram ran with a lot of force. He went running like the second oldest running back in the National Football League. So that 1-2 punch with Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram, I thought overall was outstanding. And like Dennis Allen said, we started the game, couldn't be any better. We go 9 plays, 75 yards, winning 7-0, and we force a 3-and-out. And a quick, big-time play, the fans got into his Demario Davis' sack on 3rd down. Demario Davis, we're going to send him on some blitz. I'll be surprised if Demario Davis don't have a half a dozen sacks this year. I think how they're going to send him and give him that responsibility, I could definitely see him having about, 6, maybe 6, 7, 8 sacks. He has that kind of ability. And then Andy Dalton comes in there. It's Callaway, a nice big gain. Like I said, nice hard running by Mark Ingram. There we go, 9 plays, 62 yards, 4 minutes, 51 seconds. We're up 14-0. Just a dominant first quarter by the New Orleans Saints. When you think about NFL standards, we look like the varsity. They look like the JV.
Bobby.
Now, I know Justin Herbert, none of those guys have played, but Chase Daniel, I can see why he's still sticking around.
Yeah, 10 of 11, 113 yards.
Chase Daniel, he started 5 games in his career. He's made over $41 million. That's a smart guy. He might have had a concussion maybe one time or another. But Chase Daniel, he just added by finishing the preseason like this. If Justin Herbert plays throughout the season, and Chase, he didn't even have to play, he's playing in 2023. So Chase Daniel's going to get another year and getting paid. Now we went back on defense. I thought this was a negative because we cannot get. And Dennis Allen blamed, the coverage because we didn't have a safety over the top. Marcus May was more deep middle. Bradley Roby got beat deep on the sideline when Chase Daniel hit Guyton for plus 38. Now, this wasn't good. This reminded me of an early Marcus Williams type tackle when Joshua Kelly was 3rd and 14. They ran a draw. Come on, 30
He leapt over Marcus May.
Yeah, boy, it was a nice hurdle. And he leaped over Marcus May. But Marcus May responded when they're on the goal line. He had a nice penetration, nice tackle for -1 yards, but they ended up scoring to make it 14-7. Now, I don't know if I've seen this in a while. Both teams had the 2-minute warning. The Saints were 100%. The Chargers with 90% completion. The ball was not hitting the ground. I thought we were watching Drew Brees and Tom Brady, where the ball, a lot of times we've seen in practice where the ball's not even hitting the ground. If it hits the ground because the receiver dropped it. Now, this play would have been preseason or regular season, I think top 10 for sure, because it was so freakish, top 10 for sure in Saints history. If the referees wouldn't have blown it and blown the whistle dead.
Which they are taught to not blow it dead.
Right.
Let it play because you have the benefit of replay.
Replay. Yeah. And good for Dennis Allen throwing the flag. But Don was a little off. He dropped, but Traquan got to catch that. He dropped a tough catch, and then the ball pops up, and Callaway grabs it out in the middle of the air. It ended up being a 24-yard completion, but that should have been a touchdown.
Yeah.
And but that would have been, now it still wouldn't have been like when Drew threw that interception against the Redskins and Robert Meacham stealing it and scoring. No, to me that play is still so bizarre when I think about it. Now, overall defensively, we were outstanding. We were they were only, I should say, 4 of 12, 33%. We do it every game, we go win a lot, especially if offensively we were at 64%. We just need to be 50%. And we ended up being 9 of 14. But in that second quarter, they made 4 third downs in a row. It was like 3rd and 7, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 9. That's when Dennis said we got to tackle a little better. Mm-hmm. We didn't quite tackle good enough there. And they ended up, Christian, being 4 and 12. And it was on that drive in the second quarter where they got their first downs on third down.
Bobby, in the first quarter, you mentioned how dominant it was. The Saints had 11 first downs to the Chargers 1, okay? They were on pace for 44 first downs. Okay?
Well, that's like we did against the Cowgirls when we said was the NFL record with first downs in a regular season game.
To put in perspective, the Chargers went on to get 10 first downs for the rest of the game. They had as many first downs in the game as the Saints had in the first quarter. Put it in perspective for the Saints, though, how much there was a drop-off. The theme is kind of 11s here. The Saints only managed 11 more first downs throughout the second, third, and fourth quarter. Ended up with 22.
Yeah, and you can't. 2-1. We 2-1, 22 first downs, 11. If you're not turning over the football, if you're dominating the time possession, we had the ball 12 minutes more than they did, and 2-1 in first downs. If you're not turning it over, you don't have to take it away because you're controlling the game. Now, speaking of turnovers. We ended up being, remember I told you, don't be in the minus side. We're a -1. We were a +1 for the game, so we're at 0 for the preseason. Well, when you're playing Atlanta or in September, I want to be on the plus side, but do not be on the minus side because that can come back to bite you in the butt like you -1 or -2. I thought outstanding. The Chargers defense now, who's playing, that's been their Achilles heel. They've been terrible in run defense. The Chargers last year, they were like 30th against the run, giving up like 140 yards a game. Well, we ended up getting 161 yards on 39 carries, 4.1 yard average, and we held them to only 3.4. So that was outstanding. All the quarterbacks, Ian Book, look, we were 20 of 24. If you could tell me we could be 20 of 24 against Atlanta, now we'd probably throw about 30 passes, but I would take that. To say the least. I told you how we dominated in the time of possession. Look at Alvin Kamara. 2 carries, but basically almost a 10-yard average per carry. Had that long gain of 13. Ingram was right at 4 yards a carry. Abram Smith, he was running hard, but he was right about 2.5 yards a carry. But Andy Dalton and Jameis Winston, the exact quarterback rating of 118.
That's as good as you can be without throwing a touchdown.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Because we ran it in, and so that's why that grade ended up not being higher. But I thought definitely Marquez Callaway solidified that he is the 4th receiver. He went for number 1, now he's number 4, but that's a good thing.